What you want is a good power unit that's going to give you sufficient power to run the electrode you want, and it's not going to be particularly complicated to operate. Our Series 1 unit is a 3-mode unit. Works really, really well, very, very simple to operate, plenty of power, and you can vary rate of pulse, you can vary the way everything feels. So you're looking for something in the way of a power unit. It's not too complex, not too difficult to operate, but certainly is something that you're not going to grow out of in seconds, because you don't want to spend money and then 5 minutes later you need to spend more. You then need to decide on the sort of play you want to do. Men have several options, in as much as they're looking at anal, they're looking at cock, they're potentially looking at other areas. Females, again, you've got anal, but you've got vaginal, you've got the clitoral area. So you need to look at whether you want insertables or whether you want to play on the surface. Generally the two areas you want to look for. Don't get greedy. Go for something, if you're going to look for an insertable, that you can quite easily insert. You don't want to overdo things, buy something that's too big. Big is not always better. Look for something that's going to generate the sensations you're hoping for in the areas you want to play with. So a sensible size insertable for either anal or vaginal, and a good quality power unit tends to be the way you want to start. All of our products come with sticky pads as well as the cables, so you can start with just sticky pads and play on the surface, but generally people want to look at some sort of insertable. Bipolar is the way forward. You don't want to be having to look for trying to work out complicated circuits. And yeah, look for something that's the right size for you. Let's not go silly. Let's not worry about stressing about whether you can or can't insert something. Men pretty much want to stimulate the cock, generally. So you're looking at things like conductive rubber loops or straps, go around the outside of the penis. Generally you're going to use them one around the base and around the head, because they are single pole electrodes. So you need 2 of them to make your circuit. All the fun and the fair in relation to playing with your cock with that. A little bit more advanced, you can look at combining one of those loops or a strap with a urethral sound. Sounding's not for everybody. It does kind of worry some people. The whole point of it, the whole concept of putting something down the centre of the penis does kind of worry some people. Or you're looking at anal play. A lot of guys, gay, straight or otherwise, anal play they're quite into. It's a very sensitive area. The anus, very, very sensitive. Lots of nerve endings around that opening. Ideal for anal play. Good quality bipolar electrode, so you've got contact, and it's going to be the anal sphincter that's going to be jingly jangling with that whole electrical field. You're looking at something that's going to stimulate that clitoral area mainly, or the G-spot if you can find it. Always an interesting one. So you're looking again for bipolar insertable potentially, or you can combine an insertable with a pad. So isolate the head of the insertable internally, pad on the outside on the pelvic mound. You're now going through that wall, through the mound of nerve endings in the clitoral area. Really, really sensitive area. Ladies love to play with that. The other thing that ladies really like to play with, and so do guys to an extent, nipples. Nipples, you have to be really, really careful about how you play with them. You don't want to be playing across the chest. You want to have something that's only going to be playing on each nipple. So you want something that's a bipolar clamp. We do a product which is called the E-clip. Bipolar, you're clamping around the nipple. Electricity's lazy. Shortest route, least resistance. So it's going to go in one side of the nipple and out the other to its other contact. They work really, really well. Providing you've got a unit that's got isolated channels, so a dual channel unit, you can use 2, 1 on each side, and away you go. If you've only got a single channel unit, then you can only play with one nipple, irrelevant of how many outputs, because generally you've got multiple outputs but a single channel. They will interact, and you've got potential there of interacting across the chest, which we don't want to do.